And we welcome you to X Stadium for the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series, powered by Westar Energy. This is Frank Martinez. I will be your play-by-play announcer for tonight's game as we bring to you the visiting team, the Santa Barbara, California Forsters, versus the home team, the Seattle, Washington Studs. Here's the starting lineup for today's game. First of all, for the Forsters, leading off and playing left field will be number 3, Eric Kennedy. Batting second, the third baseman, number 16, Nick Billafronto. Batting third and playing center field will be number 9, Kristen Franklin. Batting fourth and DHing will be number 27, Zach Presno. Batting fifth and playing right field will be number 8, Jacob Katzfee. Batting sixth and catching will be number 12, Ross Cadena. Batting seventh and playing first base will be number 34, Quentin Selma. Batting eighth and playing shortstop will be number 2, Tevin Tucker. Batting ninth and playing second base will be number 5, Ryan Cash. And pitching for the Forsters will be number 21, Clayton Beater. The head coach for the Forsters is Bill Pintard. And now here's the starting lineup for the home team, the Seattle Washington Studs. Leading off and playing second base will be number 4, Kyle Strash. Batting second, the shortstop, number 5, Gavin Grant. Batting third and playing third base will be number 28, Colin Wolf. Batting fourth and DHing will be number 34, Jack Pauly. Batting fifth and playing first base will be number 25, Ryan Butnick. Batting sixth and catching will be number 26, Brock Gagliardi. Batting seventh and playing right field will be number 3, Henry Cheney. Batting eighth and playing left field will be number 6, Kyle Bowe. And batting ninth and playing center field will be number 16, R.J. Green. And pitching for the Seattle Studs will be number 21, Cody Culp. The head coach for the Studs is Barry Aiden. Let you know about some scores that we had earlier today. In the first game, we had the Kansas Cannons defeat Lone Star 6-2. And that eliminated Lone Star, so the Kansas Cannons will move on and play tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock. The second game, we had the San Diego Stars defeat Fairbanks, Alaska 6-1. And that was a real good game. And then the game that just got done here, our feature game, was the Cheney, Kansas Diamond Dogs defeating the Derby, Kansas Twins 4-2 as they went extra innings. And the Cheney Diamond Dogs scored 2 runs in the top half of the 10th inning to win that ball game. So now, in our match tomorrow, in the semifinal game, it will be the Cheney, Kansas Diamond Dogs from the Sunflower Collegiate League. They will face the Kansas Cannons from the Kansas Collegiate Baseball League. So that game will be tomorrow at 7 o'clock. We know that San Diego Stars are in the game semifinal game tomorrow, and they will face the winner of this game between the Santa Barbara Forsters and the Seattle Washington Studs. Our umpires for today's game at home plate will be Lance Vaughn, first base Mark Huseman, at third base, at second base. And let me take a look and see who that is because they had 2 written down. And that looks like it's Clint Walker, and Jeff Spisak will be on at third base. We're about ready to go here, and warming up for the home team. The Studs is Cody Culp. And defensively for the Studs, at first base, we'll have number 25, Butnick. Second baseman will be number 4, Strash. Shortstop, number 5, Grant. At third base, number 28, Wolf. Left fielder, number 6, Bowe. Center fielder, number 16, Green. Right fielder will be number 3, Cheney. Catching, we have number 26, Gagliardi. And pitching, once again, number 21, Cody Culp for the Seattle Studs. Culp is a right-handed thrower. He's from Arlington, Washington. He's a 6'1", 190-pounder. He's a graduate out of the University of Hawaii. Tonight, the Santa Barbara Forsters will be wearing all white. And the Seattle Studs have their gray pants on with black jerseys and black hats on. Once again, we're ready to get underway. Leading off for the Forsters will be the left fielder, number 3, Eric Kennedy. First pitch is called strike one. And Kennedy comes in batting .286. That ball hit to the right-hand side. That's going to be a base hit as that gets by the second baseman, Strash, for the first hit of the ball game. So the second pitch, and Kennedy drives it into right field. That will bring up the third baseman, number 16, Nick Bellafronto. Bellafronto is batting .200 as he's appeared in 3 games, has 2 hits, been up the bat 10 times, and has scored 1 run as he has 1 RBI. That one fouled off for strike one. So the count is no balls, 1 strike. As we have Kennedy reaching on a base hit at first base. I'm not sure whether the radar gun is working. It was stopped working last game, and yeah, yes it is. That time is a breaking ball at 75 miles an hour. And Cortez, Washington is where Cope's from. Sorry about that. For some reason here, I had something else. The count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Appreciate that information. Oh, that's what I love about you listeners. You get us on the right track. We appreciate it very much. We appreciate all your comments. The count is 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Bellafronto. And here's the pitch. That one, an 86-mile-an-hour fastball as Bellafronto watches it for strike number 3. So the first strikeout there for Cody Cope. And that'll bring up the center fielder, number 9, Christian Franklin. Franklin comes in batting .364 as he's appeared in 3 games, has been up the bat 11 times, has 4 hits and scored 2 runs, and has 1 RBI. First pitch to Franklin is ball 1. Once again, Kennedy on at first base as we just now underway. Kennedy taking a bigger lead there, and Cope looks his way, so he heads back to first base. Once again, we're in the top half of the first inning just underway. It's going to be a great ball game between the Seattle Washington Studs and the defending champions, the Santa Barbara, California Forsters. There's a ball hit to the right-hand side. That looks like it may go foul. It is. So the count will even up now at 1 ball and 1 strike. We've had some great ball games, and tomorrow evening we'll have the semifinals, and it will be the Cheney, Kansas Diamond Dogs versus the Kansas Cannons. That game will be at 7 o'clock, and at 9:30 it will be the San Diego, California Stars. Going is Kennedy, but that one is fouled off, so he'll be heading back to first base as the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Once again, the second game will be at 9:30, and they'll feature the San Diego, California Stars, and they'll face the winner of this game between the Santa Barbara, California Forsters and the Seattle Washington Studs. So the count 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Franklin. There's ball hit to the third baseman. That Wolf goes to second base to Strash for the force out, and that's where it stops. So a 5-4 put out for the second out, and Franklin reaches on a fielder's choice. That will bring up the designated hitter, number 27, Zach Presno. And first pitch to Presno is called strike 1. Looks like Presno is 4 for 11 here in the World Series. So he has 1 home run and 1 RBI. So the count is no balls, 1 strike. And here's the pitch. And that one is fouled off, I believe. We'll see what the count is here because I've got two different counts from one from Point Streak. And there it goes. That was a ball. So the count out goes to 2 balls and 1 strike on Zach Presno, the designated hitter here tonight for Santa Barbara. We're in the top half of the first inning. No score. That one a fastball correction at 85 miles an hour, missing low for ball 3. So 3-1 now the count to Zach Presno. And Franklin is on at first base as he reached on a fielder's choice. We do have 2 down here in the top half of the first inning. That one missing for ball 3. Count goes 3 balls and no strikes. Count goes full now, 3-2. Taking off from first base will be Franklin as we have a full count with 2 down. Cope working from the stretch. And here's the pitch. Ball hit to the shortstop. Grant able to drag it down for out number 3. So at the end of the 1, we have a half inning play. We have no score. And you're listening to the live stream from Park City, Kansas. Sponsors are the Park City, Kansas. Go to the website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Scott Stiles, General Manager of Wichita Burner, right here in beautiful downtown Wichita. I know how important it is to be on a winning team. My winning team of Jim Myers, Ashley Jansen, and Jeff Markowitz are here every day to provide you with the best customer service for your boiler and burner needs. On behalf of our team, we want to wish you and your team the best of luck at this year's 85th Annual NBC World Series. And welcome to Wichita.
And we welcome you back. You're watching the Seattle Washington Studs versus the Santa Barbara, California Forsters as we go to the bottom half of the first inning. Pitching for the Forsters will be number 21, Clayton Beater. At first base, defensively, we have number 34, Selma. Second baseman is number 5, Cash. Shortstop, number 2, Tucker. At third base will be number 16, Bellafronto. The left fielder, number 3, Kennedy. Center fielder will be number 9, Franklin. Right fielder, number 8, Catsby. Ketchen will be number 12, Cadena. And once again, pitching will be number 21, Clayton Beater. As we're ready to go to the bottom half of the first inning and leading off for the Seattle Studs with second baseman, number 4, Kyle Strash. Strash comes in batting .364 as he's appeared in 4 games. His 4 hits at 11 at bat, has 5 runs scored, and has 1 RBI. First pitch to Strash is ball 1. Beater's next pitch at 92 miles an hour, missing for ball 2. So it looks like his fastball is going to be in the low 90s. Here's the pitch. That one also a fastball at 93 miles an hour, but missing outside as the count goes to 3 balls and no strikes. Kyle Strash up there, and he's going to take a walk on 4 pitches. So he reached on a base and balls, and that will bring up the shortstop, number 5, Gavin Grant. And Beater having problems finding the strike zone. Grant comes in batting .286 as he's appeared in 4 ball games, been up to the plate 14 times, has 4 hits, scored 3 runs, and 1 RBI. So he squares around the bunt, and that one hits before home plate at 85 miles an hour. And that's 5 straight balls there by Clayton Beeter. And it's amazing how you can play all summer long, but then when you get here to the World Series, the nerves just kind of get to you, and as he has not been able to throw a strike yet. Catcher goes out to talk to him. That's Cadena. And once again, Strash on at first base as he reached on a walk. We have no outs here in the bottom half of the first inning and no score. That one hitting the outside corner at 95 miles an hour. Fastball there by Beater. So the count will even up now at 1 ball and 1 strike. Clayton Beater. That one missing inside. 93 mile an hour fastball. Beater's a right-handed thrower from Coffeyville, Texas. A 6'2", 215-pounder. And apologize, don't have the college listed on the roster for Santa Barbara. That one tried to foul off by Gavin Grant and is fouled off. So even up the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So going back to first base will be Kyle Strash as he reached on a base on balls. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Gavin Grant. Beater working off the stretch. Here's the pitch. That one fouled off. That one also a 93 mile an hour fastball. Once again, you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. We hope you enjoy the action here tonight. Here's Beater's pitch. That one missing high for ball 3. So count will go full now at 3-2. That one was at 88 miles an hour. And Strash taking the lead over at first base. That one ball 4. So now Beater has walked the first 2 batters here to start off the bottom half of the first inning. That will bring up the third baseman, number 28, Colin Wolf. Wolf comes in batting .231 as he's appeared in 4 ball games. Has been up to bat 13 times, has 3 hits, 4 runs scored, and has 3 RBIs. Here's the pitch. That one, a bunt attempt by Wolf, is fouled off. The 96 mile an hour fastball by Clayton Beater. So the count goes to no balls, 1 strike. Once again, runners at first and second with no out here in the bottom half of the first. If you're just now joining us, that is bunted down by first base line. A great bunt there by Colin Wolf. It's that kept streaking towards first base, and finally the pitcher, Beater, picks it up, goes to the second baseman, Cash, covering for out number 1. So a sacrifice bunt there on a 1-4 put out. And that moves Strash over to third base and Grant to second. That will bring up the designated hitter, number 34, Jack Pauley. Pauly comes in batting .471 as he's appeared in 4 ball games, has been up to bat 17 times, has 8 hits, 5 runs scored, and has a total of 6 RBIs. Fastball missing at 94 miles an hour high for ball 1 to Jack Pauly. And here's Clayton Beeter's pitch. That swing and a miss there by Pauly. That was at 93 miles an hour fastball, so the count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners at second and third as Strash is at third base, Grant at second, as we have 1 down here in the bottom half of the first. No score. Swing and a miss there by, kind of a checkup swing by Jack Pauly. So that would take the count now to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Clayton Beeter has a very good fastball. I've seen it up as high as 96. That one almost hitting, I believe that was 98 miles an hour. So looks like he can go even higher. But missing for ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss at 90. I think that was 93. So Pauly goes down swinging for out number 2. That's the first strikeout recorded by Beeter. And they'll bring up the first baseman, number 25, Ryan Butnick. Butnick comes in batting .308 as he's appeared in 4 games. Been up the plate 13 times, has 4 hits, 4 runs scored, and 4 RBIs. As he has had 1 home run and 1 double also. But he has struck out 4 times. First pitch was fouled off, so the count is no balls, 1 strike. And here's Beeter's pitch. That one breaking ball at 86 miles an hour, missing low. That one even up the count now at 1-1. Runners at second and third with 2 down now here in the bottom half of the first. Missing outside. 95 mile an hour fastball. Count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike now to Jack Pauly. Correction to first baseman Ryan Butnick here in the bottom half of the first. That one calls strike 2. So it goes across the knees at 96 miles an hour fastball by Clayton Beeter. So those early strikes, fastballs by Beeter was just a warm-up as he was going 92, 93. Now he's up at 96, and I've seen 1 pitch at 98. That one at 96 mile an hour fastball is fouled off by Butnick. So the count stays at 2 balls, 2 strikes with runners at second and third and 2 down here in the bottom half of the first. No score. For those of you just joining us, we hope you enjoyed the telecast. Don't forget to share this telecast. This count is 2-2 now. Swing and a miss there by Butnick for out number 3. So at the end of 1, we have no score. You're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back.
What do you see? I see my daughter, a strong and independent woman, a skilled expert, living her life, and an inspiration to others. What do you see?
And we're welcoming back as we go to the top half of the second inning. No scores so far here in the ball game. And leading off for the Santa Barbara Forsters, the visiting team, will be the right fielder, number 8, Jacob Katzvey. Cody Cope on the mound for the Studs as he starts his second inning of work. And here's his first pitch. That one, an 84-mile-an-hour fastball missing for high for ball one. So the count goes 1-0. Gatsby lines that one into right center field. So he records his first hit of the game. Gatsby had come in batting .444 as he had hit that. He just recorded his 5th hit of the World Series. Now batting will be the catcher, number 12, Ross Cadena. Cadena has appeared in 2 games and is 0 for 6 here in the World Series. So he's looking for his first hit. As Katzvey is on at first base, just reaching on a base hit out of right center field. Count is no balls and 1 strike now to Cadena. And here's Cope's pitch. That one lined right back up the middle. A base hit by Cadena as he records his first hit here in the World Series as he was 0 for 6 just coming into the game. So back-to-back base hits there by Katzvey, and Cadena has now put runners on at first and second with no out here in the top half of the second inning. Now batting will be the first baseman, number 34, Quinton Selma. Selma comes in batting .250 here in the World Series. The ball hit to the second baseman. This should be a double play as Strash goes to Grant and over to Budnick for the double play. But moving over to third base on the play is Katzvey. So a 4-6-4-6-3 double play. And now there is 2 down here in the top half of the second inning. That will bring up the shortstop, number 2, Tevin Tucker. First pitch to Tucker is an 87-mile-an-hour fastball called strike 1. Tucker comes in batting .200 as he's had 2 hits in the World Series out of 10 at bat in his 3 games played. Tucker tried to lay down a bunt that time and it is fouled off, so the count will go to no balls and 2 strikes. He does have 1 RBI. We'll see what Tucker does here as he's down no balls to 2 strikes. Runner at third base with 2 down here in the top half of the second inning. No score. Here's the pitch. Ball hit right to the shortstop. Shortstop Grant comes in, goes over to first Budnick for out number 3. So at the end of 1.5, we have no score, and you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back.
From the sea, come to you. I heard the laughing. Come from the sea, come to you. I'm someone like you. Na 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 na. I'm going to Wichita. I'm
Learn more at visitwichita.com.
And we welcome you back as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. We have no score. Leading off, there's a penalty, ball one to the pitcher as he did not deliver the ball in 90 seconds. Gagliardi is the batter leading off here in the bottom half of the second inning. Gagliardi comes in batting .400 as he's appeared in 4 games. Has been up the plate 10 times, has 4 hits, 3 runs scores, and has 1 RBI. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike now to Gagliardi. There's a swing and a miss there at a 92-mile-an-hour fastball by Gagliardi. Was not able to make contact, so the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Clayton Beater. That one fouled off by Gagliardi along the left-hand side. Pretty good crowd here still. Not quite as much as we had in the feature game, but that's kind of to be expected as people have to go to work tomorrow morning. But it's almost 11 o'clock here in Wichita. That one missing for ball 3, so the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. That was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball missing for the ball 3. Full count. Swing and a miss there by Brock Gagliardi as he goes down swinging for out number 1. That is the 3rd strikeout recorded by Beater. And he'll bring up the right fielder, number 3, Henry Cheney. Cheney is got the hot bat for the Seattle Studs as he's batting .583. So he's played in 3 games, has been up to bat 12 times, has 7 hits, 1 run, and 3 RBIs. Count is no balls and 1 strike to Cheney. Here's the pitch, fouled off by Cheney, 93-mile-an-hour fastball. So that will take the count down to no balls and 2 strikes. 1 down here in the bottom half of the second as we have no score. If you're just now joining us, don't forget to share this telecast. I'd like to get more fans on watching this ball game. Here's the pitch. That one hit into the ground there, 86-mile-an-hour pitch. That will take the count now to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And here's the pitch. That one a missing high, a 93-mile-an-hour fastball at the head of Henry Cheney as he gets out of the way. For those of you that missed a couple of telecasts, Cheney, he's the descendant of is a grandson actually of the founder of the Cheney, Seattle, or Tacoma Cheney Seattle Studs. Ben Cheney founded this team, I believe it was in 1954, if I got my information correct. And the count is 2 balls, 2 strikes, but he is the grandson of the founder. That one called strike 3 on the corner, a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. So that is the second strikeout of this inning and the fourth of the ball game. That will bring up the left fielder, number 6, Kyle Bowe. Bowe comes in batting 200, and he's played in 3 ball games, has been up to bat 10 times, and has 2 hits for the Studs. First pitch missing outside for ball 1. So 1-0 now the count, 2 down here in the bottom half of the second inning. And like I say, the winner of this game will move on to a semifinal game tomorrow. A 95-mile-an-hour fastball missing outside for ball 2. And they will be facing the San Diego, California Stars. As they defeated the Fairbanks, Alaska Go Panthers 6-1. That game actually was pretty close. I believe the score was, let's see, it was 5-1 after 4. Then the Go Panthers finally scored 1 run in the 9th inning to make it 6-1. It was 6-1, I'm sorry. So there is ball 4, and Cheney will now, Bowe will be on at first base. That will bring up the center fielder, number 16, R.J. Green. So Green coming up. Green so far is batting .286 as he's appeared in 4 ball games. Been up the bat 14 times, has 4 hits, 3 runs scored, and 2 RBIs. We have a runner at first base. 94-mile-an-hour fastball missing high for ball 1. So far a beater. This will be his 43rd pitch, and he has 20 strikes and 23 balls so far here in the game. So the count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike. As we have 2 down, runner at first base, no score. That one missing high, 90-mile-an-hour fastball for ball 2. We're very lucky here in Wichita because it started raining last night about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and rained all night long. That one is a fastball, 92 miles an hour, and it goes clear back to the fence. And moving over to second base will be Kyle Bowe. So he's now in scoring position as R.J. Green will attempt to get him across. The count is 3 balls, 1 strike. With the runner at second base and 2 down. But anyway, the rains finally stop. Our first game was scheduled for 1 o'clock, and grounds crew, there's only one area where we have dirt at. Everything is artificial turf, but it was rained so hard through the night and that our mound was just not ready to go, so we delayed the game till 1:45 to start time. That one fouled off there by R.J. Green. So the count is full at 3-2. And the Seattle Stud fans are clapping in unison as they're trying to get something going here. As they have a runner at second base with 2 down. That one missing high for ball 4. That was a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, which misses. So Green will be on at first base. Kyle Bowe at second, and that would bring up the second baseman, number 4, Kyle Strash. And here comes pitching coach for the Forsters. There's nobody out warming up for Santa Barbara, so, and as I say that, somebody does get up and We'll see who it is here. Looks like it's going to be number, well, actually, nobody is getting up or just walking around out there. So I'm sure this is just a we're all behind you talk and letting them know that he's got 2 down and settle down and just throw to the glove here because he throws plenty hard. He just got to find that strike zone here as he's walked the last 2 batters after starting off the inning by striking out the first 2. But one thing you got to say about the Seattle Studs, they've been very patient and has allowed Clayton Beater to walk him. So now batting is Kyle Strash, who reached on a base on balls his first time up. And here's the pitch. That one called strike 1, a 93-mile-an-hour fastball by Clayton Beater. That time there he hit the outside corner. A good pitch there by Beater. He's in the stretch now. Here's the pitch. That one fouled off by Strash. That one also about 94 miles an hour. So the count goes no balls, 2 strikes to Kyle Strash, the second baseman for the Seattle Studs. Great evening for baseball here in Wichita, Kansas. The 85th National Baseball Congress World Series. That calls strike 3 as that fooled Strash, and he goes down looking for out number 3. So no score at the end of 2 innings of play. You're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com, and we'll be right back. Well, we welcome you back. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer, as we go to the top half of the 3rd inning. The score, no score yet so far. And leading off for Santa Barbara will be the second baseman, number 5, Ryan Cash. That one fouled off, so the count goes no balls, 2 strikes. Ran into Hall of Famer Michael Dean in the hallway. And he said that the Studs have defeated the Foresters the last 2 times that they have played them, and they shut them out. But before that, the Foresters had dominated the Seattle Washington Studs. That one hit into left field. Left fielder Bo backing up, still backing up, making a catch for out number 1. So an F7 in the books, and that'll bring up the left fielder number 3, Eric Kennedy. This is Kennedy's second time at the plate. He had a base hit in the first inning and got forced out at second base on a 5-4 putout as Franklin had hit to the third baseman. and he reached on the fielder's choice. Count is no 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch, an 85-mile-an-hour fastball missing high for ball 2. As we have nobody on base here in the top half of the third, and 1 down. Fouled off there by Kennedy. That would take the count now to 2 balls, 1 strike. Once again, we hope you're enjoying the telecast. This is a very important game because the winner moves on to the semifinals tomorrow night, as they will be taking on the San Diego California Stars, and the losers will be out of the World Series. That ball popped up to the shortstop as Grant moves out into short left field and makes the catch for out number 2. That'll bring up the third baseman, number 16, Nick Villafranto. Villafranto is from San Jose, California. He's a 6'1", 215-pounder. First pitch to him is ball 1 by Cody Cope. And here's the pitch. That one, it's a hard hit ball into left field. Left fielder Bo backing up, and he's going to be able to get under it. When it first was hit, I thought that might be gone. But I'll fly out to left field for out number 3. At the end of 2.5, we have no score, and you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back.
What do you see? I see a new day. To continue my journey, riding towards my goal. To create the life I've always wanted. I do what it takes. And now I ride to my dream job. What do you see?
And we're welcome back as we go to the bottom half third inning. We have no score. Leading off for the Seattle Studs will be the shortstop, number 5, Gavin Grant. Grant reached on the base on balls his first time up. There's a bunt laid down. What a beautiful bunt, as Beater will have to pick that up along the third base side. Goes to first base. Is not going to be in time. So Gavin Grant reaches on a base hit. So Grant will be on at first base as he records his first hit of the game. And it'll bring up the third baseman, number 28, Colin Wolf. What a great bunt there by Grant as he really detonated that. Now another bunt attempt there by Wolf as the third baseman comes charging in. And Beater, all he could do was hustle for the ball down the line, but it just, when it hit the turf, it just detonated like I do my 8 irons on the greens. Right. I wished, anyway. I wish they would have that kind of a bite. That one there missing for ball 2. So 2-0 to count. A 94-mile-an-hour fastball there by Beater. Just missing. As we are in the bottom half of the third inning. Bottom half of the third and no score. And once again, late trying to bunt there is Wolf. And that one misses for ball 3. As Colin Wolf had his bat out, but brought it back as he saw that was going to be inside. So if he gets a walk here, that's just as good enough as a bunt, as he will be moving the runner over to second base. Here's the pitch. That one call missing, I guess, for ball 4. And Wolf kind of hesitated, wasn't quite sure what the umpire was going to call, but it was low. So now there'll be 2 runners on. Grant will move over to second base. Wolf will go to first on a base on balls. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, number 34, Jack Pauly. Pauly struck out his first time up. Left-handed batter, definitely going to see a bunt here as he's going to try to move the runners over. The corners are in. Both of them are in on the grass area. That's a swing and a miss as I say that. Of course, Pauly is the cleanup hitter. So he is batting .470 here in the World Series. Well, I think if I was batting .470, I'd be swinging away too. That one missing outside and low for ball 1. So the count evens up at 1-1. That was at 91 miles an hour. Pauly's from Overland Park, Kansas. And here's Beater's pitch. That one fouled off by Pauly. So that would take the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's a 6'4", 220-pounder, Pauly is. He's a senior out of Northern Colorado University. And here's Beater's pitch. And there goes the runner. A base hit into right center field as 1 run will score. As Grant will come around third base to score. Also coming around is Wolf. And stopping at second base is Jack Pauly as he records a double into right center field and has 2 RBIs. And we have no outs. Once again, Grant scored from second, Wolf from first. As the score is now 2-0 by the Seattle Studs over the defending champions, the Santa Barbara, California Foresters. Now batting for the Studs will be the first baseman, number 25, Brian Butnick. And now we do have somebody up in the Foresters bullpen. That one hit to the right-hand side, but it is going to be out of play right back behind home plate. And what a catch there by a fan. Young kid who just happened to have a glove, and the ball came down right at him, made the catch. Everybody gave him a nice round of applause. His count is no balls, 1 strike. That one missing outside. A breaking ball at 87 miles an hour. So he just took a little bit off of it. So the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. That one missing low for ball 2. So 2-1 now the count. Let's get Beater, the pitcher for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Defensively, he's got Selma at first, Cash at second, Tucker at short now. Villafranto at third, Kennedy in left, Franklin in center, and Catsby in right field. That one called strike 2, so the count will go 2 balls, 2 strikes at 94-mile-an-hour fastball right across the knees. We do have a runner at second base as Pauly hit a line shot into right center field and scored 2 runs. So that takes the score to 2-0 in favor of the home team, the Seattle Studs. That one fouled back, will be out of play. .72 degrees here in Wichita, Kansas. It's showing showers. Supposed to be happening. 89% humidity. The wind is 3 miles an hour out of the east-northeast. Their ball gets away from the catcher, Cadena, and move it over to third base is Jack Pauly, as there is no outs here in the bottom half of the third inning. So now the third run, 90 feet away for the Seattle Studs. And the count is full at 3-2 to Ryan Butnick. As Peter started gave up a base hit to Grant, a walk to Wolf, and a double to Pauly to score those 2 runs. Ball hit to the third. Shortstop going to be able to get to it, but I don't think he's going to be able to get the play off as another run scores. So Butnick does his job as he hits that into just right of the shortstop as he went deep into the grass area. And it is a base hit there for Butnick and an RBI. So it is now 3-0 in favor of the Seattle Studs. And that will bring up the catcher, number 26, Brock Gagliardi. And I believe that's going to be it for Clayton Beater. I'll give you his final numbers, and I'll see exactly who's coming in to pitch for the Santa Barbara, California Forsters. Once again, we are in the bottom half of the third inning. The score now 3-0 in favor of the Seattle Studs, and we're going to have a pitching change here in the bottom half of the third. Still have not seen who it is that's coming in for the Forsters. Sometimes them guys warm up out in the fields we have or binoculars, but they have their fronts to us. And when they don't have numbers on their fronts, we have to wait till they make a turn here so we can see them. I see a 2. I believe it's number 22 for Santa Barbara. And if that's the case, that is Ryan Sublette, right-handed thrower from Lamont, Illinois. He's a 6'2", 205-pounder. So I believe that it is, yes it is, that will be coming in. And I'll give you the final numbers there for Clayton Beater. He went 2 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned runs, 5 base on balls, and 5 strikeouts as he faced 14 batters. So he really started off well in the first 2 innings, but this inning he gave up a base hit to start off the inning, a base on balls, a double, and then now a single. So he gave up 3 hits. All 3 hits that he has given up have been in this inning. So Ryan Sublette, number 22. Is now the pitcher. Let me see if I can find anything on if he has pitched here in the World Series. If relieved any at all. Looks like he has appeared in 1 game, has pitched 1 inning, has given up 2 hits, 1 strikeout, and he's got a 0.00 ERA. So that is his numbers. And now first batter he'll be facing is the catcher, number 26, Brock Gagliardi. As we have no outs with a runner on at first base. And the score is 3-0 now in favor of the Seattle Washington Studs. And I have some guests here in the press box. My partner, Anthony Gorgeous, is here. As he calls the games on KGSO, we call them together. He does the play-by-play, I do the color, and then I move over to play-by-play on live stream. And we're going to have a timeout here. And Anthony, who you got with you? Sisters. Your sisters. Hi, girls. How you doing? And you are? Okay. Hello. How you doing? And nice to meet you guys. You guys enjoying the ball games? Well, good, good. I heard he treated you this last weekend while you guys were in Kansas City. Are these the ones you took? Okay. you guys went and got a chance to go to Kansas City and have some fun. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. All right, we're going to get back to action here. What's that? Well, I understand. I totally understand. I know I'm going to have my family here tomorrow, or part of them, my wife anyway. We're going to get back to action here, and as the count is 1 ball, no strikes, and pitching is number 22, Ryan Sublette. Gallardi up with a runner on at first base and no outs. The score 3-0 in favor of the Seattle Studs here in the bottom half of the third inning. And here's Sublette's pitch, missing outside. That one at 94 miles an hour as the count goes to 3 balls, no strikes. Once again, we got Ryan Butnick on at first base as he reached on a base hit and had 1 RBI. A cool 72 degrees in here, Anthony. It's still a little chilly in here, isn't it? That is in there for strike 1. That one at 93 miles an hour by Sublette. And the count goes down to 3 balls, 1 strike. All right, we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Nice meeting you, girls. All right, 3 balls, 1 strike, no outs. It's always good to have company up here. All right, that one hitting the outside corner at 95 mile an hour fastball by Ryan Sublette. Well, one thing that the Santa Barbara, California Foresters do have great pitching as they are in the mid-90s here tonight. Here's the pitch. A swing and a miss there by Gagliardi as he goes down for out number 1. That will bring up the right fielder, number 3, Henry Cheney. Cheney struck out his first time at the plate in the second inning as he made the second out. Once again, we have Brian Butnick on at first base with 1 down now. But the Seattle Studs have scored 3 runs here in the top half of the third inning. That one missing for ball 1. And the count goes to 1 ball, no strikes to Henry Cheney. He's a right-handed batter. He's from Gig Harbor, Washington. 6 foot, 200 pounders. Junior out of the University of Portland. I heard a strike being called there, so the count is 1 ball, 1 strike now to Cheney. So saying he's batting .583 coming into the ball game. And he's 0 for 1 here tonight. And here's Sublette's pitch, a breaking ball at 83 miles an hour outside as he was trying to get Cheney to go after one. So the count is now goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. It's great being up here in the press box. I'm making the call here for you guys tonight, but boy, it sure would be enjoyable to be out there watching this ball game also. It's always fun to come out here to the NBC World Series, and you get to meet so many people, and they're here year after year. That one call strikes, so the count now goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is my 25th year of being the PA voice here at the World Series, but I've been helping them out on play-by-play here the last couple years. That one fouled off to the right-hand side. And the count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So we have 1 down here as Ryan Bernard's at first base. He reads on a base hit and an RBI. And here's Sublette's pitch. Ball just check swing there to the shortstop. Shortstop Tucker will go to first for out number 2. Move it over to third base. Second base, correction, will be Butnick. And so we have a 6-3 put out for the second out, and that'll bring up the left fielder, number 26, Kyle Bowe. So the score 3-0 in favor of the Seattle Studs here in the bottom half third inning. Runner at second base with 2 down. And Ryan Sublette in on relief. First pitch called strike one, a 94-mile-an-hour fastball by Sublette. That one getting away from the catcher, so moving over to third base will be Ryan Butnick. And the count will go to 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at third base with 2 down here in the bottom half of the third inning. 3-0 in favor of the Seattle Washington Studs. Middle of the infield playing back in the grass area. As this is artificial turf here. That one missing inside for ball 2. A 95-mile-an-hour fastball just missing. Actually just missing the batter because he had to get out of the way. Where my thought was anyway. So the count is 2 balls, 1 strike. That one a fastball, high and outside. So 3-1 now the count to left fielder number 6, Kyle Bowe. Bowe reached on a base on balls his first time. He was left stranded at second base in the second inning. Fouled off there by Bowe. That was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Hanging tough is Kyle Bowe. And here's Sublette's pitch. That one once again fouled off by Bowe. Bowe's from Cedar Woolley, Washington. He's a 6-foot, 200-pounder, where he graduated from Western Oregon. And that might be Cedro. Not real familiar. There's ball hit to the right-hand side. Coming in is Catchfee, and he makes the catch right at the line and for out number 3. But not before the Studs scored 3 runs. So at the end of 3 innings of play, the Seattle Studs 3 and the Santa Barbara Foresters 0. And you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back.
No one should live a life burdened with type 1 diabetes. And the day is coming when nobody will, because we're here to cure it. And we're working to improve the lives of those affected by this relentless disease today by finding new therapies and advancing them to market, by advocating for greater access and better choices, by deepening our understanding of the disease. At JDRF, we're fighting T1D. We're making life better for those who live with it, while creating a world without it.
And we welcome you back as we go to the top half of the fourth inning. The score, the Seattle Washington Studs 3 and the Santa Barbara, California Foresters 0. Leading off top half of the fourth inning is the center fielder, number 9, Christian Franklin. And he'll be facing number 21, Cody Cope, as he starts his fourth inning of work. So far for Cope, he has gone 3 innings, had 3 hits and 1 strikeout as he's faced 11 batters. That one missing for ball 1, so the count will go to 1 ball, 1 strike now to Christian Franklin, who is 0 for 1 here tonight. And he came in 4 out of 11, batting .363 with 1 RBI. That one in there for strike 2. So the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Top half of the 4th, no out. That one outside at 78 miles an hour. Breaking ball looked like, as that was sliding from left to right there. Just missing. There's a fastball high for ball 3, so count goes full now at 3-2. That one at 87 miles an hour by Cody Culp. That one fouled off by Franklin, so the count stays at 3-2. Well, you missed a good ball game as the Cheney, Kansas Diamond Dogs defeated the Derby Twins 4-2. So we went extra innings. That one popped up into the infield. First baseman Butnick coming in foul territory, making the catch for out number 1. Anyway, the game was 4-2 in extra innings in 10 innings. As the Cheney Diamond Dogs will play in the semifinal game tomorrow. They will be facing the Kansas Cannons at one semifinal game. And then the San Diego, California Stars are waiting for the winner of this game to join them. First game is at 7 tomorrow, and then which will be the Cannons and the Dogs. Then the Stars and the winner of this game will play at 9:30. I'll have the call on the second game, play-by-play, and we'll be doing the radio with my radio partner from KGSO, Anthony Gorgeous. He'll be doing the play-by-play, and I'll be doing the color. The count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. A swing and a miss there by Zach Presno as he goes down swinging for out number 2. So we have 2 down here now in the top half of the 4th inning. And the score 3-0 in favor of the Studs. That'll bring up the right fielder number 8, Jacob Katzfee. Katzfee, a left-handed batter. He's a left-handed batter from Lee Summit, Missouri. It's a 6'2", 195-pounder. There it went fouled off by Katzfee. The count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike. And I believe he is a Wichita State product. Name sounds real familiar. That one, a line shot there to second baseman. Strash makes the catch for out number 3. So at the end of 3.5, the score, the Studs 3 and the Forsters 0. And you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com, and we'll be right back.
At the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's, we carry flowers that signify why we want to end the disease. And we walk so that one day there will be a white flower for Alzheimer's first survivor. Join the fight at alz.org/walk.
And we welcome you back as we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. The score is 3-0 in favor of the Studs. Leading off for the Studs will be number 16, center fielder R.J. Green. Green reached on a base on balls in the second inning, was left stranded at first base as Strash struck out. He is on deck. Grant in the hole. No balls, one strike. Sublette starting his second inning work. That one way outside. 84 miles an hour. So the count will go down to 1 ball and 1 strike. Showing like at about 5 o'clock in the morning, we're going to be having a 30% chance of rain. But then it clears up after 9 a.m. And I don't see any kind of bad weather for tomorrow evening. So it ought to be a great, great evening. Here's the pitch. A 91-mile-an-hour fastball missing high for ball 2. So the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Left-handed batter, R.J. Green. That one breaking ball, missing for ball 3. So that will take the count now to full at 3-2. That one was fouled off, so the count stays full at 3-2. As we are in the bottom half of the fourth inning, 3-0 in favor of the Studs. And here's Sublette's pitch. That one missing outside at a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. So R.J. Green will be on at first base as he reaches base for the second time here tonight and the second walk here this evening. That will bring up the second baseman, number 4, Kyle Strash. Strash struck out his last time as he made the third out in the second inning. And he reached on a base on balls in the first inning and was left stranded at third base. So here's Sublette's pitch. A bunt laid down, but not going to be in fair territory as catcher Cadena makes the play in foul territory. So going back to first base will be Green. And the count is no balls, 1 strike to Kyle Strash, who's playing second base here this evening. There's somebody warming up out in the Foresters bullpen. Another bunt attempt, but that goes foul. And that time Strash just stuck his bat out. You got to get that bat out in front of the home plate, young man. We got number 44 out warming up for the Foresters. That is Connor Woods. And here's Sublette's pitch. Swing and a miss there by Kyle Strash as he goes down for out number 1. That's the second strikeout by Strash. Second one in a row. Now to bring up the shortstop, number 5, Gavin Grant. Called strike 1, 94-mile-an-hour fastball by Ryan Sublette. So the count is no balls, 1 strike. Runner on at first base with 1 down. Here in the bottom half of the fourth. Scored 3-0 in favor of Seattle over the Foresters. Call strike 2. That was at 92 miles an hour. So 0-2 now the count. Shortstop number 5, Gavin Grant at the plate. beautiful stadium here at Eck Stadium on the campus of Wichita State University. There's a swing and a miss there by Grant, but going on the pitch was R.J. Green, and he will be on at second base, but another strikeout as Grant goes down swinging for out number 2. And that will bring up the third baseman, number 28, Colin Wolf. As Wolf reached on a base on balls in the third inning and was hit in by Jack Pauley, who had hit a double to score both Grant and Wolf there in the third. Here's the pitch. That one outside. Good job there by Cadena as he moves to his right to block that from going back to the fence area or the padding. Count is 1 ball, no strikes now to Colin Wolf. Fouled off there by Wolf, so that will even up the count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. I'd like to thank our technician, Chris Worrell, who has worked awful hard to bring these broadcasts to you. He does produce these games. There's a pitch missing low for ball 2, so the count is 2 balls, 1 strike. And we're winding down, Chris, as we have 2 games tomorrow and then the championship game on Saturday night. We've gone 2 long weeks here, as we had our first week and then the championship week. And batter stepped out of the batter's box. Colin Wolf did. I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know if the umpire called timeout, but pitcher Sublette went ahead and threw the ball, and it got away from the catcher, but nobody had moved, so apparently the umpire called timeout as the count is still at 2 balls, 1 strike. That one calls strike 1, or correction, strike 2, as that hit the outside corner. So that would take the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So let's pitch in there for call strike 3, and he goes down looking for the third out. So that strikes out the side. At the end of 4, the score is the Studs 3 and the Foresters 0. And you're listening to NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back.
What do you see? I'll tell you what I don't see. I don't see a dropout. I don't see laid off. I don't see hopeless. I see our future, bright and prosperous. What do you see?
And we welcome you back as we go to the top half of the 5th inning. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer for tonight's game. The score is 3-0 in favor of the Seattle Studs over the Santa Barbara, California Foresters. Leading off in the top half of the 5th for the Foresters will be the catcher, number 12, Ross Cadena. Cadena reached on a base hit in the 2nd inning, and he was hit into a 4-6, 4-6-3 double play by Selma. Count goes to 1-1 now to Cadena. And here's Cope's pitch. As Cope starting his 5th inning of work. And there's nobody warming up in the Studs at bullpen. So unless he gets in some trouble here, he may go the full 5th inning. That one is fouled off, so the count goes 2-2 now to Russ Cadena, catcher for the Forsters here tonight. Hope you're enjoying the telecast. Don't forget to share it. That one missing outside, 78-mile-an-hour ball. And that takes the count now to full at 3-2. And one thing you definitely don't want to do is walk the first batter. There's a hard hit ball to the shortstop. Shortstop Grant moves to his left, goes across, and jumping up is Buddick, but coming back down and touching the bag in time for out number 1. So a 6-3 put out for the first out, and that'll bring up the first baseman, number 34, Quinton Soma. Soma, a left-handed batter. Soma is from that base hit into right field from, it looks like Clovis, California. 6'2", 205-pounder as he drives that first pitch into right field past the second baseman, Strash. So he records his first hit of the ball game. And I bring up the shortstop, number 2, Tevin Tucker. Tucker made the third out in the second inning as he grounded out to the shortstop. We have runner on at first base now with 1 out, and a great job there by Gagliardi as he had to move clear to his right to make that stop by Cody Cope, and the count is 1-0, no strikes. Here's the pitch by Cope. That one fouled off to the left side on the third base side as it goes down the left field line now. Will probably end up in fair territory. It's not going to quite make it. There's a player from the Studs running down the foul line to retrieve that ball. Count is 1-1 strike. There's a pitch missing outside at 85 miles an hour, so the count will go now to 2-1 strike. Cody Cope in his 5th inning of work. And we have a timeout at home plate there as Tevin Tucker steps out. And here's the pitch. That one called strike. It looks like Tucker was not too happy about that. Cody Cope was taking his time, and he thought he might ask for timeout, but was not giving it to it as that was in there for strike 2. He got the last one, but didn't get that one. So the count's 2-2. There's a ball hit to the third base side. It's going to be foul. And Wolf, somehow, I don't know, as he moved to his right, he started limping there. Not sure if he stubbed his toe or something, but he's walking it off there, going back to his position. Now he reaches down to his leg area. Looks like he's okay. Here's the pitch. That one in there for strike 3. As Tevin Tucker just looks at that go right across the knees for the third strike. And that will be 2 down now here in the top half of the 5th inning. That'll bring up the second baseman, number 5, Ryan Cash. That hard hit ball into right field. Right fielder Cheney backing up and making the catch for out number 3. So at the end of 4.5, it is the Studs 3 and the Foresters 0. And you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back.
Come from the sea, come to you. I heard the laughing. Come from the sea, come to you. I'm someone like you. Na 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 na. I'm going to Wichita. I'm going to Wichita. I'm going to Wichita. And I'm going to Wichita.
Learn more at visitwichita.com.
And we welcome you back here to the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series, powered by Westar Energy, as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. The score, the Seattle Washington Studs 3 and the Santa Barbara, California Foresters 0. And leading off for the Studs will be the designated hitter, number 34, Jack Pauley. Pauley recorded that double in the 3rd inning, who scored 2 runs, as he got 2 RBI, scoring Grant and Wolf, and then also scored on the next base hit by Ryan Butnick. That's where we got our 3 runs here in the ballgame. First pitch is fouled off by Pauley. The count is no balls, 1 strike. Ryan Sublette in now pitching, that one at 81 miles an hour, missing outside. So the count will even up now at 1 ball, 1 strike. Still a decent crowd here to watch this ball game as we reach almost midnight, 11:55 I have. That one is fouled off to the right-hand side. So that will take the count now to 1 ball and 2 strikes. We have 2 games tomorrow that start. One that starts at 7, semifinal game between the Cheney, Kansas Diamond Dogs and the Kansas Cannons. There's a check swing, didn't go. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. That will be the first semifinal game, and then the next one will be at 9:30. That game will be live stream, and KGSO will carry that game. My partner Anthony Gorges and myself will call that game for you. And then we'll be back. I'll be back for the 9:30 game. Ball hit to the second baseman. Second baseman Cash comes in, goes to Selma for out number 1. So a 4-3 put out in the books for the first out here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. That'll bring up the first baseman, number 25, Ryan Butnick, who reached on a base hit and scored an RBI as Pauley came around second base to score. And he was left stranded at third base in that 3rd inning. So anyway, we'll have that call tomorrow, 7 and 9:30. That second game will feature the San Diego, California Stars, and they'll be facing the winner of this game between the Seattle Washington Studs and the Santa Barbara, California Foresters. So here's Ryan Sublet's pitch, 93 mile an hour fastball. That ball hit to the Bellafronto, and he goes across to Selma for out number 2. That one took a good bounce there for Bellafronto. See, all he had to do was wait on it and was able to go to first base in time for the out. That will bring up the catcher, number 26, Brock Gagliardi. As Gagliardi has struck out twice here in the ball game. First pitch missing outside at 92 miles an hour. So the count goes to 1 ball, no strikes to Gagliardi. That one fouled off to the left-hand side. That's going to be off the training center for the Wichita State Shockers, as we are on the campus of Wichita State University. They're getting a brand new third base plus locker rooms that will go right into their training facility. There's a swing and a miss there by Gagliardi. And the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's 2 down here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, with the score 3-0 in favor of the Studs over the Forsters. And here's Sublet's pitch. That one missing outside. A fastball at 94 miles an hour. That will even up the count now at 2-2. It's been a great ball game here so far. It's been a clean ball game. As the line reads for Santa Barbara, no runs on 4 hits and no errors. And for the Seattle Studs, it reads 3 runs on 3 hits and no errors. All 3 runs coming down at the bottom half of the 3rd inning for Seattle. Count now goes full at 3-2 with 2 down. And here's Sublet's pitch. Ball hit, lifted into left field. Left fielder Kennedy backing up, still backing up, almost at the track area, making the catch for out number 3. So at the end of 5 innings of play, it's a Seattle Studs 3 and the Santa Barbara, California Forsters 0. You're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series, powered by Westar Energy, as we go to the top half of the 6th inning. The score is the Seattle Studs 3 and the Santa Barbara Forsters 0. Leading off for the Forsters will be the left fielder, number 3, Eric Kennedy. First pitch is fouled off. Starting his 6th inning of work is Cody Culp. And let me give you his numbers real quick. He has gone 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, has 3 strikeouts as he has faced 18 batters. Second pitch missing for ball 1 at 80 miles an hour. So the count will even up at 1-1. That swing and a miss there by Kennedy. And the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Breaking ball hung up. That one was Change up at about 82 miles an hour. Count stays at 1-2 to Eric Kennedy, the left fielder for the Forsters. Left-handed batter. That one hit him in the hand area as he handcuffed Kennedy there, but it was fouled off. A great pitch there by Cody Cope. Because if he hit it in fair territory, it wasn't going to go very far. Breaking ball, call strike 3 at 75 mile an hour. Breaking ball by Cody Cope gets Kennedy looking for strike 3. So 1 down now here in the top half of the 6th inning. That will bring up the third baseman, number 16, Nick Villafronto. That one fouled off by Villafronto. Villafronto is 0 for 2. He has 1 strikeout as he's batting 167. Here's the pitch missing inside, and that would take the count now to 1-1. That was an 80 mile an hour pitch, just missing. That one fouled off to the left-hand side, and great hustle there by Wolf, but it is foul. So that should take the count now to 1-2 with 1 down here in the top half of the 6th. 3-0 in favor of the Studs over the Forsters. That ball hit to the shortstop. Shortstop Grand moves to his left, turns around, and wow, what a stretch. Looks like the ball did fall out there. It did. So Buddick, he stretched as far as he could, and it hit the web of his glove, and it came out. And so I'm sure that's going to be an error on the shortstop. Oh, it's a base hit. I'm sorry. I guess Grant did have to go quite a ways into the hole. Thought he was going to get him in plenty of time, but just made a bad errant throw. But it is considered a base hit as Grant had to go deep in the hole to make that play. So Belafonte's on with a base hit. And a hard hit ball into left field. That's going to be in for a base hit. Belafonte will be going to third base, and in for a double is Christian Franklin as he records his first hit of the ball game. And it is a good one here, as it is a double, which takes Belafonte to third base with 1 down here in the top half of the 6th inning, as the Forsters are down 3-0 to the Studs. And that will bring up the cleanup hitter, the designated hitter, number 27, Zach Presno. As Presno comes in batting .309. He's 0 for 2 here tonight. He does have 1 strikeout. And then he flew out to the shortstop in the first inning as he made the third out. No balls, 1 strike now to Presno. Swing and a miss there by Presno. A 86 mile an hour fastball by Cody Cope. And Presno goes down. No balls to 2 strikes as there is 1 down and runners at second and third here in the top half of the 6th inning. Swing and a miss there by Presno. What a great pitch there by Cody Cope as he put that in the same spot, but that one was at 81 miles an hour, and Presno goes down for out number 2. That's the second strikeout to Presno. That is only the 4th strikeout of the ball game, and that was a big one. As now the infield has a play at first base for the third out. And Jacob Katzfee is up there Left-handed batter against the right-handed thrower. He's 1 for 2 here tonight. And here's the pitch. Ball lifted into left field. Left fielder backing up. That's Bowe making the catch for out number 3. So at the end of 5.5 innings of play, it is the Studs 3 and the Forsters 0. You're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back. And we welcome you back to the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series as we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Leading off will be the right fielder, number 3, Henry Cheney. Back up on the mound is Ryan Sublett. So far, Sublett's, and looks like Henry goes down. Henry Cheney does, as he gets hit in the hand area. And he will be taking first base there. The umpire, home plate umpire checked with the first baseman to see whether he swung that at that or not. So he'll be at first base as a hit batsman. And that will bring up the left fielder, number 6, Kyle Bowe. Bowe is 0 for 1 officially, has 1 base on balls as he's batting 182. As he walked in the 2nd inning and flew out to right field in the 3rd inning as the right fielder made a great catch out there on the line of the bullpen area. Ball hit to the pitcher, a bunt laid down, and that will sacrifice Henry over to second base. Nice bunt laid down there by Kyle Bowe. Very fundamentally done bunt as he hit the bunt to the right-hand side to give it Cheney a chance to move to second base. So it's a sacrifice. 1-3 for out number 1. And that will bring up the center fielder, number 16, R.J. Green. Trying to give him a name there instead of some initials. Ball hit into left field. Left fielder moving to his left, backing up, making the catch for out number 2. That was Kennedy as he made the second out. And now we have 2 down. Runner at second base. That will bring up the second baseman, number 4, Kyle Strash. Now I know how important those initials are as for R.J. Green, because I have 2 grandkids. One's B.J. and the other one's J.J. Even though they do have names, that's what they want them to be known as. That one missing for ball one, so the count will go to 1 ball and 1 strike as we have 2 down here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Hard hit ball into the shortstop, not able to get to it. Tucker, here comes a run as Cheney will score from second base. And that will take the score now to 4-0 in favor of the Seattle Studs. And Strash will be on at first base with a base hit and an RBI. And that will bring up the shortstop, number 5, Gavin Grant. And I was just thinking about something as I was, sometimes I can hear myself talk, and I think I said PJ. His name is PJ, one of my grandkids, and the other one is JJ. If I said BJ, I apologize to my grandson because I know better than that. But anyway, JJ and PJ are my 2 grandkids. 2 out of the 24 that I have. That one hitting the outside corner for strike 2, so the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. I better straighten that out in case they are listening. They're going to say, Grandpa, you don't even know my name. Here's the pitch. That one fouled off to the right-hand side. Count stays at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner at first base with 2 down. As a run has been scored here in the bottom half of the 6th inning, 4-0 now in favor of the Studs. That one missing outside, an 80-mile-an-hour pitch. And that will even up the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs. And Kyle Strash on at first base as he just got a base hit and an RBI as Cheney came in to score from second base. And here's Sublet's pitch. That one missing inside, 92-mile-an-hour fastball, and that will take the count to full now at 3-2. With the runner on at first base and 2 down, he'll be taken off on the pitch here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And there goes Stratch. Swing and a miss there by Grant for out number 3. So at the end of 6 innings of play, it is the Studs 4 and the Foresters 0. And you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com, and we'll be right back. And we welcome you back as we go to the top half of the seventh inning. The score is 4-0 in favor of the Seattle Studs over the Santa Barbara Forsters. Leading off top half of the seventh inning will be the catcher, number 12, Ross Cadena. First pitch is strike one, I believe. 1-1 now the count. To Cadena. Cadena reached on a base hit and then grounded down to the shortstop. There's another ball hit to the shortstop as he moves to his left, makes the catch for out number one. That was Gavin Grant to Budnick for out number one. Now to bring up the first baseman, number 34, Quentin Soma. Soma got a base hit his last time in the fifth inning, but was left stranded at first base. Got his 1 ball, no strikes to Quentin Soma. As Cody Cope is still out there on the mound. That one called strike. That was an 84-mile-an-hour fastball by Cody Cope. Cope is now at 82 pitches, has 59 strikes and 23 balls. That one lifted to the right-hand side. Green moving over in right center field, making the catch to the center fielder for out number two. And that will bring up the shortstop, number 2, Tevin Tucker. Tucker struck out his last time at the plate. Then he grounded out to the shortstop in the second inning. That's a hard hit ball into left field, but that's going to go foul. That will be out of play. Boy, he hit that a mile high. He really got his whole body back behind it, but was awful quick as it went into foul territory along the third base side. That's about one of the most solid hits I've seen being a foul ball. Another hard hit to the right side, but that's not going to be a great play there by the coach for Santa Barbara Forsters. As the third baseman, Colin Wolf, Colin Wolf had moved to his right and was trying to get that, and coach snagged it with one hand. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Tevin Tucker. As we are in the top half of the seventh inning, the score 4-0 in favor of the Seattle Studs. And here's the pitch. That one fouled off to the right-hand side. The count stays at 1 ball, 2 strikes. And here's Culp's pitch. Ball hit to the shortstop. Grant. And he just hangs on to the ball. He's kind of stumbling as he came up. That would be an error on the shortstop as Tucker reaches first base. That is the first error of the ball game. That will bring up the second baseman, number 5, Brian Cash, left-handed batter, as he's flown out to left field and flown out to right field. First pitch at 83 miles an hour. Missing for ball 1. Count is 1 ball, no strikes to Ryan Cash. Swing and a miss there by Cash, as that will even up the count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. That one just missing outside for ball 2, so the count will go now to 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ryan Cash, second baseman for the Forsters. That one lifted left, so that will be out of play. So the counts will even up now at 2 balls, 2 strikes. That was a 92nd pitch there by Cody Cope. As I say that, somebody looks like they're just getting up in the Studs bullpen. May start throwing here. Yep, it's going to be number 15 for Seattle. Xander Klaus may be coming into the ball game here. That one missing for ball 3. So the count is full now at 3-2. With a runner on at first base and 2 down here in the top half of the 7th inning. 4-0 in favor of Seattle. Once again, we hope you're enjoying the telecast and the broadcast. Trying to give you a fair call. Here goes Tucker, and the ball lifted into right center field, correction. Center fielder moving to his left. Green making the catch for out number 3. So at the end of 6.5, it is the Studs 4 and the Forsters 0. And you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com, and we'll be right back.
Neck pain, back pain, all kinds of sprains. If your knee replacement aches when it starts to rain, at Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that. Concussions, arthritis, carpal tunnel, tooth, fibromyalgia, Parkinson's, we've got the treatment for you. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that. One-on-one sessions with a personal touch. Ask our thousands of patients why they love us so much. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that. At Advanced Physical Therapy, we treat that.
And we welcome you back to the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series, powered by Weststar Energy. As we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning, the score is the Seattle Washington Studs 4 and the Santa Barbara, California Forsters 0. Looks like we're going to have a new pitcher now for the Forsters. Looks like it's going to be number 10, a left-handed thrower for the Forsters. That will be Bradley Demko. He's a left-handed thrower from Austin, Texas, a 6'3", 195-pounder. So he will be coming in relief for Santa Barbara. And he has pitched in one game here in the World Series. He has pitched 1 inning, and that's it. He's got a 0.000000 ERA, as I have nothing on him except that he's pitched in 1 inning. So the first batter that's up there for Seattle is third baseman number 28, Colin Wolf. The count is no balls, 2 strikes to Wolf. And let me try to get number 10 in the books here. He's throwing that one a breaking ball at 81 miles an hour, and that's in for a strike for out number 1. So Demko gets his first strikeout recorded here in the books. That'll bring up the designated hitter number 34, Jack Pauley. That one in there at 78 miles an hour for strike 1 to Jack Pauley, who is 1 for 3 here tonight. Oh, and 2 now the count to Pauley. Somebody must have turned off the AC because it's starting to get warm in this sound room or press box. Swing and a miss there by Pauley as he goes down swinging. And Demko records his second strikeout here of the ball game and of the inning. That will bring up the first baseman, number 25, Ryan Butnick. Budnick is 1 for 3 here in the ball game. He's got a base hit in the 3rd inning as he got an RBI and scored Pauley as a Seattle stud scored 3 runs in that inning. First pitch missing outside at 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Was low and outside for ball 1. And as I say that, the AC kicks back on. Right in the back of my neck here. I can feel it. Feels good. Here's the pitch. That one in there for strike 2. That was a breaking ball at 77 miles an hour. So the count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike to Jack Pauley. Demko is from, I think I already told you that. He's from Austin, Texas. 6'3", 195-pounder. I remember reading that before. It's funny what the mind does. 2 balls, 1 strike now to Budnick as we have 2 down here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. That one missing outside. A hot fastball at 87 miles an hour. Count goes to 3 balls, 1 strike now to Ryan Budnick. Pretty decent game so far. Like I say, the last error was in the last inning as Tevin Tucker had a miscue at shortstop, but no damage done. That one called strike, 79 mile an hour. So that will take the count to full now at 3-2. With 2 down here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. It is now 12:31 a.m. here Central Time. That one fouled off to the right-hand side as Budnick looked like he had a check swing, but was able to make a little bit of contact right on the barrel of the bat as it sounded like it was well struck for a check swing. So the count is 3 balls, 2 strikes. I just love the sound of the bat when somebody makes contact. That's just, to me, that's baseball. There's looking at 3rd strike. And so Demko comes in and strikes out the side. So at the end of 7, the Studs 4 and the Foresters 0. And you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back.
The Kansas Humane Society is a community resource for pets and people dedicated to enhancing the welfare of all companion animals. We offer an array of services that promote the human and animal bond, including pet adoption, dog training, behavior consultation, pet supplies, outreach, spay and neuter, end-of-life services, field trips, and community outreach.
And we welcome you back as we go to the top half of the 8th inning for the Santa Barbara Foresters. Leading off will be the left fielder, number 3, Eric Kennedy. Once again, this is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer for tonight's game. Hope you're enjoying the telecast and the call. Here's the pitch. Ball is fouled off and just to the right of us. That was one of the very few pitches, or foul balls, I should say, that has been up in our area. You would think us being right directly behind home plate that we'd get a few more. That ball hit to the first baseman is going to go unassisted. Budnick for out number 1. So we're down to 5 outs. That was Eric Kennedy up at the plate. And that will bring up the third baseman, number 16, Nick Bellafronto. Call strike 1 to Bellafronto. And here's the pitch. That one missing outside. Right now our speed clock is not, or speed gun is not working, so can't give you a reading on how fast he's throwing that. There's a swing and a miss there by Bellafronto. So the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the top half of the 8th inning. 4-0 in favor of the Seattle Studs. There's a changeup. Great pitch there by Cody Culp as he really changed it up, and Bellafronto was well ahead but was able to make contact. So the count will stay at 1 ball and 2 strikes. And I'm sorry that I'm laughing, but our scoreboard operator just put up strike 3, or one count went 1 ball and 3 strikes. I must be getting tired here. The ball hit to the shortstop, goes to first for out number 2. That would bring up the center fielder, number 9, Christian Franklin. It's amazing how when you get tired and your mind gets tired, one of the littlest things like that could just make you get the giggles. And boy, I look up there and there's 1 ball, 3 strikes, and it just made me laugh. So I'm sorry about that. Anyway, the count is now 2 balls, no strikes to Christian Franklin. 3-0 now the count. That one missing. And looked like her radar gun tried to come back alive here. We'll see if it does. That one, yes, it does. 81 miles an hour for a strike. So the count goes to 3 balls, 1 strike to Christian Franklin as we have 2 down. There's a swing and a miss there by Franklin. And that will take the count to full now at 3-2. Great pitch there by Cody Culp, as he is now at his 105th pitch, and that one fouled off by Franklin. He has a total of 75 strikes and 31 balls. So that is the 106th pitch by Cody Culp. And here's the pitch. Ball hits the third base. Third baseman Wolf moves to his left, goes across, makes the out for out number 3. So at the end of 7.5, it is the Studs 4 and the Forsters 0. And you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back.
Man, this is serious business. You gotta have an appetite for this kind of thing. You gotta have a hunger to succeed.
Side effects may include hilarity, laughter, smiles, childlike behavior, lots of good feelings, and making of a lifelong friend.
Mentoring. It's easier than you think and serious fun. Change the game.
And we got a little Sweet Caroline going on here at the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series as we come back to the bottom half of the 8th inning. And Bradley Demko now coming into the second inning of work for the Santa Barbara, California Forsters. Leading off in the bottom half of the 8th inning for Seattle will be the catcher, number 26, Brock Galliardo. So he's up there, the left-handed batter against left-handed pitcher. And their first pitch missing for ball one. And they've taken away our speed gun again. Here it comes back. That pitch, a breaking ball at 75 miles an hour, but outside for ball two. And I just saw, I was thinking that the speed gun was not working, but what happens is when they have an advertisement, it was covering it up, so I couldn't see it. And now that they've taken the advertisement off, we can see the speed gun. That one, another breaking ball at 77 miles an hour, and it is now 3-0 to Brock Galliardo. Correction, Gagliardi. My bad. That one missing for ball four. I don't know where I got the old from, and I apologize to the family. He'll be on with a base on balls. And that will bring up the right fielder, number 3, Henry Cheney. He got hit by a pitch his last time, right around the hand area, as he was backing out of the batter's box. Did not even come close to the bat. So around the wrist area is where he got hit at. So here's the pitch now. That one all the way outside. That gets by the catcher on a wild pitch. Going to second base will be Gagliardi. So that's just what the doctor ordered for the Seattle Studs. And we may have a pitching change here. As Bill Pintard, legendary Bill Pintard for the Santa Barbara, California Forsters, comes out to talk to his pitcher. And warming up out in right field is number 35, it looks like. We'll see who that is. Looks like Elijah Tresh is the one warming up. And now Pintard walks with his catcher to kind of get an idea how he feels about the pitcher, whether what he's got on his pitches, to give him a better idea whether he wants to stay with him or not. And he's going to stay with him for right now. Once again, Henry Cheney up there at the plate with Gagliardi at second base, as he went to second base on the wild pitch. There's a one call strike, so the count should be 1 ball and 1 strike. Cheney squares around the bunt. Nice bunt there, right back to the pitcher. Play's going to be only at first base, and covering was Cash, the second baseman. So the play goes 1-4 for out number 1, and a sacrifice by Cheney as Gagliardi goes to third base. That would bring up the left fielder, number 6, Kyle Bowe. And now they're going to have a pitching change as Bill Pintard comes out, and that will be it for Bradley Demko. So I'll give you his final numbers. And once again, coming in to pitch for the Santa Barbara Forsters will be number 35, Elijah Tresh. Elijah Trest. There we go. From White Oak, Texas. He's a 6'3", 200-pounder. Coming in to pitch. And let me see if I can find whether he's pitched here in the World Series. Looks like he has appeared in one game, pitched 1 inning. Gave up 1 base on balls, 1 strikeout, as he has a 0.00 ERA here in the World Series anyway. So he'll be coming in relief. That one, a fastball, 95 mile an hour. His first pitch as he warms up. That one at 92 miles an hour, so a hard throwing. Once again, a great bullpen for the Santa Barbara, California Forsters. A breaking ball there at 83. So kind of gives you an idea of what he's got. So the score is 4-0 in favor of the Seattle Studs, but they do have a runner on at third base as there's 1 out here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Well, we have a great one here tonight. Once again, tomorrow's action at 7 o'clock, you'll be the Kansas Cannons for the Kansas Collegiate Baseball League. They'll be facing the Cheney, Kansas Diamond Dogs from the Sunflower Collegiate League. And they'll square off tomorrow at 7 o'clock with a chance to go to the championship game on Saturday at 7 o'clock. Here's the first pitch, and that is a wow. That they did hit him, I guess. Wow. I didn't think it came close to him, but it apparently did hit him, so he will be going to first base. Kyle Bowe as home plate umpire. Lance Vaughn, and Bill Pintard comes out to question that because I kind of thought he missed him, but maybe it did hit him. He must have heard something as Kyle Bowe tried to get out of there because that was directly back behind him. So Bowe will be on at first base as a hit batsman. That'll bring up the center fielder, number 16, R.J. Green, a left-handed batter. And now we have runners on at first and third. With 1 down, the infield will come in. As the corners are in to the grass area, and the second and the shortstop, the middle infield, I should say, are about midway. They're definitely not back as far as they normally are. They're not into the grass area, but they are playing to get the out at home. That one Outside, 96-mile-an-hour fastball hitting the corner as the count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike. Once again, pitching number 35, Elijah Trest. And here's the pitch. That one in there for a strike. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. So the count now goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. And R.J. Green, last batter in the lineup, is up at the plate. Runners at first and third and 1 down. That ball hits to the shortstop, and it goes through the shortstop's leg. And a run will score from third base. That was Tucker as he makes his 2nd error here in the ball game. That ball was a hard hit ball. Not able to handle it. So we got 1 RBI by R.J. Green, but an error to the shortstop. As Gagliardi scores from third base. Going to second is Bo, and now up at the plate is second baseman number 4, Kyle Strash. Five to nothing now the score in favor of the Seattle Studs. And here's the pitch. That one missing outside at 92-mile-an-hour fastball as the count goes to 2 balls, no strikes to Kyle Strash. So Trest is trying to get out of the inning here. That one in there for a strike, a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and that will take the count now to 2 balls and 1 strike. 1 run has scored here in the bottom half of the 8th. And it was all led off with a base on balls, a wild pitch as he went to second base, then a sacrifice by Cheney to move Gagliardi to third base. A hit batsman next, and that put runners at first and third. And then a ball hit to the shortstop that he bobbled it and went through his legs as Gagliardi scored from third base. Count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. That one missing high and outside. We have Bo at second base, Green at first with 1 down. And the count is full now at 3-2. We'll see if Coach Barry Ayton has a play on or not. Sometimes they like to run the base runners in case he strikes out. There's a ball that's fouled off. They were not taken off that time. You would think that they'd played safe, knowing that 5 runs may not be enough. Don't want to get doubled up and get them out of the inning, that's for sure. Count stays full at 3-2 as Kyle Strash is up there, left-handed batter for the Seattle Studs. And here's the pitch. That one, call strike 3, and Strash knew it right away. That was at 96-mile-an-hour fastball for looking at strike 3 for out number 2. That would bring up the shortstop number 5, Gavin Grant. And here's the pitch. That one in there for ball 1. That was at 97 miles an hour fastball, but missing low and outside. .1251 here in Wichita, Kansas. That went in for a strike, 96-mile-an-hour fastball. That will even up the count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. We do have 2 down here in the bottom half of the 8th with runners at first and second. 1 run has already scored here in the bottom half of the 8th. The Seattle Studs scored 3 runs in the bottom half of the 3rd, 1 run in the 6th, and 1 run here in the 8th to take that 5-0 lead. Ball hits at third base. Third baseman will go unassisted at third base for the force out, and that's out number 3. So at the end of 8 innings of play, it is the Seattle Studs 5 and the Foresters 0. And you're listening to the NBC World Series live stream presented by Park City, Kansas. Visit Park City's website at parkcityks.com. We'll be right back.
I'm Terry Bradshaw. Like many of you, I took the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge back in 2014. My man Pat Quinn here, well, he's one of the founders.
Thanks to all of you who took the challenge.
ALS is a nasty disease with no cure. It robs a person of their ability to walk, talk, and breathe. Since the Ice Bucket Challenge, we've discovered new ALS genes and potential treatments. If we can cure ALS, we can cure anything. Please join me and Pat in the fight against ALS.
And we welcome you back as we go to the top half of the 9th inning. The score 5-0 in favor of Seattle. So far in the ball game, the Santa Barbara Foresters have scored no runs on 6 hits and 1 error, and the Seattle Studs have scored 5 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. Now up is the designated hitter, actually, they have a pinch hitter, number 13. And let me tell you who that is. That is Connor McKenna is up there pinch hitting for the Foresters. That pitch call strikes. So the count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike, 79-mile-an-hour pitch by Cody Culp as he starts his 9th inning of work. It is a 110th pitch, 77 strikes and 33 balls. That one missing for ball 3, so 3-1 now the count. That one in there for a strike. So the count goes full now at 3-2. Call strike 3 as McKenna looks at third strike for out number 1. And now pinch hitting will be number 7, I believe. Yes, it is. That will be Blake Hall. Blake Hall now pinch hitting for Catsby. And then we have Cadena on deck. So we have 1 down here in the top half of the 9th inning. That's first pitch is fouled off, an 85-mile-an-hour fastball by Cody Culp. He's still got something out there. This Culp has gone 8 1/3 innings. That ball hit into center field. The center fielder making the catch. What a great catch there by the center fielder, Green, R.J. Green, as he comes sliding on the WSU logo to make that catch. And the second base umpire out there right on the call as we now have 2 down. A great play there by center fielder R.J. Green as he makes the second, catches that for the second out. Now to bring up the catcher, number 12, Ross Cadena. That ball popped up and it's going to be out of play, so the count goes to no balls, 1 strike. Once again, the winner of this game will be facing the San Diego, California Stars tomorrow evening at 9:30. I will have that call for you right here on the live stream, courtesy of Park City, Kansas, and our technician, Chris Worrell, who has done a heck of a job bringing these games to you. That one fouled off again, so the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. And I believe that bat went flying clear back to the, it did, went flying clear back to the fence area, back behind home plate. So the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the Seattle Washington Studs are 1 pitch away, I should say 1 strike away from going on to the semifinals. That ball hit into center field. Center fielder R.J. Green coming up, making the catch, and that is the ball game with the final score. The Seattle Washington Studs 5 and the Santa Barbara, California Foresters 0. So congratulations goes to the Seattle Studs as they will now move into the semifinal game as they will be facing the San Diego, California Stars tomorrow at 9:30. And tomorrow's 7 o'clock game will feature the Cheney, Kansas Diamond Dogs versus the Kansas Cannons. That game starts at 7 o'clock. Well, we had a great one here tonight that does eliminate the defending champions, the Santa Barbara, California Foresters. And we wish them well on their way back home and thank them very much for participating in the 85th National Baseball Congress World Series powered by Westar Energy. Well, we hope you enjoyed the call. We hope you enjoyed the game. The final score is 5-0 as the Studs shut out the Foresters for the 3rd time in a row by Mike Dean, as he told me in the hallway. So this is Frank Martinez wishing you good night. We'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock, or correction, at 7 o'clock for the game, and then at 9:30. Good night.